Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to another live stream. Hope all of y'all are having a great day out there. We are going to jump into the markets with Nick in just a second. But before we do that, we, of course, have to check out the market heat map so we can get an idea of how all of our assets are trending so far today. If you're unfamiliar with what we're looking at right now, this is the A1 Edge Finder Pro version. We have some special things in the work for y'all that we'll announce a little bit later on. But we are looking at the market heat map, and here we can see all of our assets and how they are trending so far in the market today. Right up top here, if we want to take a look at our top three, in fact, let's make it our top 5 biggest movers to the upside. I see GBP NZD, GBP CHF, GBP AUD, USDCHF, and GBP JPY. And you know what? We'll just throw USDJPY in there as well. So lots of US dollar pairs, but also lots of pound pairs, pound JPY, pound AUD, pound CHF, and pound NZD, all up towards the top of the list today. GBP NZD being the biggest mover to the upside, up 0.61% on the day. And if we check down here towards the bottom, we have the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, US 30, gold, JP225, and NZD USD. So bad day for indices and commodities, it seems. All of our U.S. indices are in the red to start off the day, including NASDAQ 100, which is down 1.78% on the day. That is our biggest mover to the downside so far today. And gold down here as well, down 0.81%. So quick look at how our assets are trending so far today. Now with that, let's go ahead and go live into the markets with Nick. Here we go.
All right, and thank you, James, for the morning start with a little look at what's moving and what's not. Thanks for being here, guys. We've got some people already in the chat. It's Friday, so the markets are a little bit quieter. We had a lot of volatility this week with PPI numbers, CPI numbers, and retail sales numbers coming out in the United States. A lot of volatility there across the board, especially with the dollar. I mean, take a look at this dollar move. We gotta really take a look at this. You can see that we started out the week with sort of consolidation going on, and we had a bullish bias on the dollar going into this week. I know Frank, one of our analysts here at A1 Trading, he is very long on the dollar. Nice trade there for him. And again, the overall bias there to the dollar maintaining a bullish presence in our view. In this stream, as we do each day, we're going to go through some charts, some setups, some ideas, things that we're looking at going into next week, as well as the remainder of this week. So thank you for joining me. If you're new to the stream, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new. Thank you for being here. And let's jump into some analysis. First, like I said, a look at the dollar. This week, we are bullish on the dollar and staying bullish until something changes here. But for the most part, we've just been putting in higher highs, higher lows. We had a key level of resistance come into play here at that 103.6 mark, which on this candle right here really broke that narrative completely. On the retest of that area, we found buyers coming in and still pushing the dollar overall to the upside. And some people will say, hey, well, it's pulling back today. Maybe it's starting to sell off. Maybe the dollar is bearish from here. And if you watch our streams here, you'll notice that more often than not, we are looking to go with the flow. When it comes to markets, a really painful thing is to try and go against the grind, if you will, right? Being contrarian in markets totally can pay. But in terms of a difficulty scale, I personally, in my experience, I found it much harder to go against the flow of traffic than to just ride along with it. And so when it comes to something like the dollar, we are generally, just based on the chart, going to be looking primarily for bullish setups. So if price comes back, whether it's today or into Monday, I'll be primarily looking for dollar long setups. And there's a couple charts that come to mind right off the bat, which we'll be going into more detail together. Because of course, we're looking at the dollar currency index. not individual currency pairs yet. We'll look at currency pairs in a moment, but primarily just starting with the dollar. I am bullish on this asset, both from a technical perspective, but also from an institutional data perspective, also from a seasonality perspective. And we'll dive into all of that in the moments coming. So again, overall, a big story here this week was a really big win for the dollar, with today being a pullback day. I'm primarily looking to possibly get long that dollar if it does give us a proper pullback, primarily to that 38.2. Regarding the dollar, we'll keep stepping through. We'll go next to one of the ones that I'm very much a bear on, which is the euro. And looking at the euro here, I want to just quickly look at this chart and then show you guys kind of what I'm seeing. So this is a 4-hour chart. We have a clear downward trend. And this week, the bears made some serious gains. If you notice, we have a level of support here where buyers were very strong. But this week, sellers were able to crack that stronghold, right? Think about this as like sort of like a game of Risk or Catan or something like that. You know, if you like board games, I like board games, so I'm putting it in that perspective. We basically have taken over the territory. Sellers are in control here. We've broken through that level of support, and so as price rebounds into a level of what was support, the sellers are still in control here, at least until proven otherwise. So as we retrace, I would say that this area looks like a sell setup on the euro USD. Now, not just the euro dollar. I actually have a position, and that's where I think we need to take a second to update the position tracker at the bottom of the screen, at least in terms of my positions. I am currently short euro CAD. This is a trade I picked up. It's not going too well for me so far, but we still got to throw it up on the board. Transparency matters. You guys know when I show you when I show you charts and ideas and things that I have, I will show you my wins and my losses. So far, this trade is not starting out too well, but I still have hopes for it. Here's my Euro CAD trade. Again, going off of that Euro idea, Euro trending well to the downside here, and coming up this week and really retesting this 1.4380 mark several times. This zone in red is a key level of what was support, now turning resistance. If this level can hold, I'm looking for a return back to the lows. This is a trading signal that I've shared inside of our Discord channel. We'll see if I make money on it, but either ways, I'm risking a small amount of money. Well, I shouldn't say a small amount of money. It's not a small amount of money. It's a small portion of the account risked on this trade. If I'm wrong, if price breaks through the previous highs, that's going to be my signal to go ahead and say I was wrong. And, what I've found is just in life, admitting when you're wrong is a powerful trait. I'm married, and that is all I'll say. So yeah, I think that with EuroCAD, if price breaks through the highs, I'll admit defeat. I'll say I'm wrong there and just get out of the way. But if price is able to hold this and roll over, we're going to look to see if we can make some moves here. So I am short on EuroCAD. That is a current position of mine shared this morning. Nick, is EuroCAD on the watch list? Yes, it is, which is part of the reason why I picked up the trade this morning. So going to the Edge Finders watch list page, what we can see is that EuroCAD pops up right here as a sell trade overall to the downside. We are looking for, again, a -4 there. And primarily getting a negative score under the economic numbers, right? GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, etc. That is kind of our primary negative categories. And so overall getting a sell bias on the Edge Finder. So we could actually pull that up just for the sake of looking at it. And we will be doing more charts. I know a lot of you guys have charts that you want me to pull up in the chat. I will be looking at more of them. Don't worry. But let me just break down this trade really quick. Have a sell bias from the Edge Finder. We get a -2 in the trend category, right? Downward trajectory. We have economic numbers all pointing towards selling the euro and buying the Canadian dollar. If you don't already have the Edge Finder and you want to try it out for free, we actually, let me say that differently. We no longer have a quote unquote traditional trial. We now just have a free version of the Edge Finder. So if you want access to the free Edge Finder, we're going to drop a link in the chat right now. There it is. If you are looking at your YouTube chat right now, if you're here with me live, click that link, fill out that form, and you'll be able to get access to the free Edge Finder. It is a limited version, but it is a version nonetheless. If you would just like to try it out for yourself, get access to it. And if you want to go premium later, that is totally up to you. This is our software tool that my company A1 Trading has been working on for the last year. And so feel free to check out our free version, and we're excited to have more people using it. Yeah. EuroCAD, like I said, a sell trade for me here this morning. And let's see what gold is doing. A lot of people asking for gold in the chart, in the chat. And look at this. This chart continues to flow lower. Now, really leaving me behind. I had a sell bias on this one this week, but unfortunately have not really had a chance to get involved in the retest. Now, if I was intraday, if I was looking at the 1 hour chart, you may have been able to argue for a retest here, a sell there, but not particularly my favorite setup there. I really like that 4 hour chart pullback opportunity at the 61.8, but that's a bit of a ways now. I think you might still, there was clearly a lot of sell pressure up in this 50% retracement. So if markets rally for gold, sell side action gets interesting up at 1845 now. So this would be of interest, and so would that 1850 mark. These are both sell zones, at least in my view, until further notice. I could be wrong, but let me double check with the Edge Finder. I believe we are having a sell bias on gold until further notice. It's been sell bias this week. Let's see if it's still there. Yes, it is. Just barely holding on to a sell bias at -3. And so what we're really seeing here is that you've got COT data going against us, seasonality going against us, GDP growth going against us, but every other category favoring a sell. And this is the thing about the Edge Finder. The Edge Finder is it's just reporting these metrics. It's giving you insight on all these metrics for you to make a decision on. It's not telling you per se, oh, go sell it right now, right? This is not really a technical indicator. It's a fundamental and sentiment indicator, which is, again, many traders want to incorporate those things into their trading, but they don't know how. The Edge Finder is like a simple way to do that. So what you'll notice here is that a lot of the bearishness that we're getting on gold is coming from the economics, right? Inflation numbers on the decline. You have unemployment numbers, still looking solid in the U.S. and interest rates still high, and the most recent reporting an increase in interest rates. So until that cracks, that's going to put a slight bearish tone on the gold market for us. So that's kind of where we're at with gold. And so I have a bearish bias when looking at the chart now, a price retest into that 50% retracement or that 61.8% retracement for me is looking primarily sell heavy. Should we get that set up? That's something I'm looking at when it comes to gold. So let's keep going. We'll continue on. We'll see if we can find some more setups here. Going back to the watch list for just a moment. Oh, look at this. USDCHF showing up as a possible buy here today. USDCHF, that's a new one to the watch list. If you guys are on the stream on a regular basis, we pretty much we hover around the watch list constantly. So to see a new contender enter into the field is interesting. So this dollar Swiss broke out of resistance at 92.80. This is really interesting. So you had a price breakout, beautiful movement up, and now looking at it a little lower time frame, we might be able to see a setup here forming on the dollar against the Swiss franc. If you draw fibs, and this is definitely getting a little bit more lower time frame, we're looking at the 1 hour chart on dollar Swiss. With that recent dollar push, we saw this run up all the way to 93.32 and now pulling back. If it comes into this zone, this would be probably a buy setup for me. So I really like dollar Swiss long. This is a new one to enter into the fray. Like I said, dollar yen, the other one, the cousin of dollar Swiss. This one really strong and pulling back as well. So if I had to pick the two, I'm thinking I would probably go dollar yen. Let me illustrate a little bit of that point here in just a second. So let's draw in some. So now we're going a little lower time frame. On the higher time frame, dollar yen on a deeper retracement to that 38.2 looks really good. If price can come down into this zone, that's a buy setup for me. But the question is there something lower time frame I could try on the 1 hour chart? Let's see. So let's do this. In fact, let's just start fresh. So now what we're doing, we're playing the different time frames. So on the 4 hour chart, I like a deeper retracement as a possible buy. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at a lower time frame setup that also still looks like a buy, which honestly might allow us to get a better risk to reward, which is one of the biggest pros of the lower time frames. A lot of times people sleep on the lower time frames. Like swing traders will be like, oh, a lot of the lower time frames suck. And the 1 hour chart may not seem like a lower time frame to you. It just depends who you ask, right? 1 hour chart is it's right in the middle, I would say. It's not quite lower time frame. It's not like the 15-minute chart, but it's definitely not a 4-hour or daily chart. Now, price pulling back here looks so beautiful for a long. I really like dollar yen at that 61.8% retracement. I think it's a ways from, it's not quite there, but if that price dips here on this Friday price action, or even going into Monday, dollar yen looks really good. I like this for a long setup. And again, this is not just a technical chart that looks pretty. It's also on the Edge Finder as a buy rated currency pair. If I go look at dollar yen here, you can see we get a bullish bias overall. And let's break this down really quick. COT numbers as of the latest reporting, bullish dollar, bearish yen. So that points towards a buy rating. Now, next up, we can look at the crowd. What is retail money doing? It's short dollar yen, points towards a buy, right? And we can keep going on and on. Seasonality goes against us. February is historically a negative month for the dollar yen. So that goes against us. So we don't want to get, this is the thing. You always want to sort of like have the full picture in front of you. That's why the Edge Finder is helpful, because then we can be like, okay, well, not everything is in our favor. Trend reading, right? Upward trajectory looking good. GDP growth and interest rates favor the US, whereas inflation and unemployment favor Japan. Overall, we get a +4. That is enough of a bias in my view to look to get long primarily on the dollar yen. So if price pulls back, there's the technical analysis lined up with the Edge Finder. I really like that. And again, it's not magic. We're still risking small. This is the other side of trading. There's so many levels to this stuff, because even if you do take that trade, everything might set up, but it's not a perfect indicator, right? You might have a trade that works out great, but you might also take a loss. And so in that case, we still have to risk small. So if price pulls back, maybe I'll take a small bite-sized position on the long side, with full idea being, if that doesn't work out, maybe I'll try again at a deeper point or a deeper retracement level that I like, which this one really sticks out to me. 133.70, 133.60 as a possible second attempt. And we talk about this often on the live stream, but it's a core component to my trading strategy. I don't go all in on one single trade. Trade idea 1 might occur right here, and trade idea 2, both on the long side, might occur down here. So as price pulls back, let's say we get this entry and this one works out, then great. We look to proceed as usual and we ignore trade idea number 2. But let's say that trade idea 1 comes into play and completely falls apart and I look like an idiot. In that case, we stop out quickly on this one, right? We stop out, take the loss, no problem. We take a second entry and I look for that one to work out. Maybe this one works out great, right? The point is, when I'm bullish on something, I'm not all in and overestimating the ability of technical analysis. What new traders very, very often do is they overestimate technical analysis as if it's this godly, beautiful, perfect answer to all their problems. And they underestimate things like fundamental analysis, sentiment analysis, and of course, the big one, risk management. New traders ignore this stuff. They sleep on this stuff and they overhype technical analysis to the moon. Is technical analysis bad? No, it's a great tool. It's great for managing risk. It's great for lots of things. But technical analysis is not the holy grail, all telling indicator of what the market's going to do next. If it was, it'd be really easy to make money in this stuff and everybody be doing it. But we all know that that's not the case. It's not easy to make money doing this. So we know you have to, at least in my study, what I found to be a huge helper is to ignore overhyping technical analysis and just include it with the rest of the analysis. But don't forget the other core components to profitable trading. Understanding what's going on in the markets, understanding sentiment analysis, what's the crowd doing, what's big money doing, and understanding genuinely how to manage your risk properly. These things, all of those together, that's what's made me profitable. It's not just technicals. It's not just fundamentals. It's all of it tied together, which is, again, why we've built our software. We're going over a lot of educational stuff. It's Friday, so I'm a little bit slower to jump into a bunch of trades here. If you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the thumbs up button, but also let me remind you also to make sure If you are not already in our free Discord, we've got a free Discord available. We're going to drop a link in the chat. It comes with a bunch of helpful resources to learn more about the strategies and concepts that we talk about so often on the channel. You can also get daily trade ideas and so much more. So if you're interested in that, click the link down below in the chat or in the description to get access to the free Discord. Look at this. The S&P 500 cannot catch a break. Came back all the way down to the lows here, threatening a breakout of this 40.60 mark. If price breaks underneath this, it looks like the S&P 500 is in for a little bit of pain as we continue to dip lower. S&P 500, I had some great trades on the long side there. I'm out of my trade for a loss. We shared that inside of the Discord channel. Unfortunately, that trade did not work out well. My S&P 500 trade no longer is on. And at this point, I have one interesting setup, which is the NAS. If price pulls back a little bit further than the NAS, I'm going to give it a little try, not a big try, not a big position, a small position on a retest of this 12,200 mark. I've watched that for several weeks now. If price comes down to that area, I am looking for a setup. This is also on the Edge Finder, so it's on the watch list, I believe. I think. Let's see. NAS 100. Yep. Still on the watch list. So we'll keep an eye on NAS 100 here. If price can pull back just a little bit further, that is an indices trade I'm looking to try and pick up. This is kind of a daily chart trade even. And again, if that breaks, then I'll stop out and we'll call it a day on the indices for a little while. That's kind of my last trade attempt for now. Dollar still looks bullish. Like I said, DXY break and retest here this week. Never really got much of a retest that I was able to catch. Although actually, I shouldn't say that. We did get a retest. I just didn't have any immediate action there. So unfortunately, did not catch any of that pullback. But I mentioned a trade that I've been watching all week is that dollar yen. If price can pull back that 61.8, I like it for a long setup. That's something that I'm interested in. Go long GBP USD. I am personally pretty bearish on GU. If you have a strategy that's different than my own and you have a reason to go long and, that's of your interest, hey, do your thing. But for me, I am pretty short biased on the pound. If price were to pull back here, let's see if I go GU, if I pull this one up here for a second. So GU, look at this, back to a -10. This is screaming sell bias. It's been bearish all week. Actually, the last few weeks, as soon as the dollar broke out, the Edge Finder was super bullish on a lot of the dollar crosses, and GU took sort of the forefront of that list. So GU completely sell bias right now for me as a swing trader. So if I'm looking at this on a 4-hour chart, what I like here is a pullback to this 38.2% retracement from the high where the sort of blow off top that occurred on GU. We've sold like crazy. So when I see a move like this, my first response is not, oh, buy it, it's low. My response is sell it on a pullback because this thing is falling apart, right? So yes, we might have actually, to be fair to your comment, we might actually have a short-term run to the upside on GU. And what happens in the lower time frame like that is sort of up in the air to me. I'm not too focused on that. I'm focused primarily on this sell setup, the 38.2% retracement. If price comes up to that point, I'll look to get short. But in the meantime, I don't really love it down here as the chart looks a little bit messy. So like I said, a pullback 38.2, I'd be interested, looking to short and look for continuation plays on the pound. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Speaking of the pound, we touched briefly on the euro. I'm bearish on the euro. Did my euro CAD trade come back into play at all? Nope, it is still going against me. Look at that. It's the CAD coming down here, I think. CAD JPY. CAD JPY coming down a little bit. CAD CHF going down here a little bit. Yep. So it seems like it's the CAD. Is oil. Yeah, look at that. There's the culprit. We found it. Oil is selling off here this morning. Quite interesting to see that. You've got wow, that's a big sell-off there for oil. Down from this zone here about 3% already. That's a crazy move to start out the day. And alongside the S&P 500 coming down, you can kind of see risk-on assets taking a bit of a beating, which goes right in line with our thought of the dollar continuing to look strong. But yeah, ugly day for the S&P 500, and we'll have to watch this one to see how it plays out going forward. USD CAD. Let's pull up USD CAD. USD CAD looking really strong. Look at this. The breakout has occurred. That level of resistance now turning into possible support on a retest. So from swing low to swing high, you've got this. And if you draw fibs from swing low here to swing high, you've got this. And so that kind of lines up nicely. You can take a look here. You can see this level of what was resistance. A dip back into that area to me is an attractive opportunity to potentially get long. So if price comes back to that 38.2%, I'll look to potentially get long. I think this has edge finder bias. Let me make sure. USD CAD. Yeah, look at this. USD CAD, very bullish. Actually, it's bullish in almost every single category. And I love these examples because it can be very helpful to understanding how the edge finder works. COT data, bullish. What does that mean? We're looking at big money. We're looking at banks and institutions and hedge funds. What are they buying? They're buying the dollar. They're shorting the CAD. Okay, cool. That gets us a bullish reading on COT data. Retail sentiment, the crowd is shorting the dollar CAD. That's a bullish indicator because if we know that the crowd is buying something, or I'm sorry, selling something like crazy, it might actually be a buy, right? Because the retail crowd, unfortunately, is on the wrong side of a lot of trades. So big money is long, little money is short. Seasonality is positive. The month of February, historically a up moving month. Trend reading, trending to the upside. GDP numbers, unemployment, and interest rates all favor the US dollar. GDP higher in the US. Inflation is higher in the US, which is a negative catalyst, right? Inflation being lower is healthier, but it's not by much in Canada. So then you also have, of course, unemployment healthier in the US and interest rates higher in the US. So overall, we're getting a very bullish bias on the dollar CAD. And so when we pull up the chart, again, that lines up nicely with what we're seeing develop now. And if price pulls back, that may be an entry for me. Hopefully that makes sense. When I go through these charts, it's the same thing every day. My strategy has not changed in a long time. We use the edge finder, we use those concepts plus technical analysis to build better, data-backed trading setups. It's a full picture idea using fundamentals, sentiment analysis, and our technical analysis to get an idea of trade ideas. So dollar CAD on a pullback looks long to me. We'll see if I'm right about that or not, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. GJ, let's look at GBP/JPY. I haven't looked at GJ in a while. The 1 hour chart, not too interesting. Daily chart looks reasonably bullish. Hold on. I don't know if we have this one on the watch list or not. And again, this is when I say repetitive on my streams, it's because we do these same concepts over and over and over. So GJ has a neutral rating on the edge finder, so there's probably nothing there for me. Even if a chart looks good, if we don't have fundamental and sentiment analysis on our side, there's no trade for me. I like to see several factors stacked in one direction, both on the technical and other aspect side before getting into a trade. Now, even when I do have a trade, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's guaranteed. You can see this is a trade that's gone bad for me already. Unfortunately, tried to short EuroCAD, and I'm looking pretty silly right now as the market rallies back to the highs. So if I stop out, we stop out. It's all good. It is a small portion of the account, and we might be able to find something else that's setting up. So EuroCAD not looking so hot here to start out the day. But again, we have a last line of defense, right? This previous high. If this doesn't hold, then we'll just stop out. So yeah, we'll have to see. Not starting out well though, that's for sure. Euro USD, a retest of this support zone. If it happens today, I'll be interested potentially in getting short. This is a little bit of a lower time frame setup. Price broke out to the downside recently. Already sort of retested this area, but if price wicks back up into that area, I will be interested in a possible short there. Nick, how often does the risk gauge update? That's a good question, Marshmallow King. I don't think that we have that on the update log. Let me check. If you have the Edge Finder, all of our data, you can watch for updates here and see price quotes, market heat map. That's going to probably follow under there. The risk gauge feature updates every 15 minutes, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I believe price quotes fall into that category as that's how it's calculated. I actually didn't build the risk gauge. That was one that was a project led by Frank. So I can double check, but I believe it's every 15 minutes. So yeah, that's probably most of what I have. But before we go, we've got another guest coming on to take over the stream for a little bit. We'll bring in now Kenzo. Kenzo, we can come on in whenever you're ready. Hey, Kenzo, how are you?
Great, thanks, and you, man.
Good. Happy to have you back on the stream. Thanks for joining us. Kenzo is a regular contributor to the stream. He comes on. He's a technical and fundamental trader, similar to myself. He's got some great ideas to share. And Kenzo, if you're good to go, we can just hand the stream over to you. You can take over for a little bit. And before I step out, let me just remind you guys, make sure to go follow Kenzo. He's got some great content on his own YouTube channel. We're going to drop that link in the chat for you. And Kenzo, have a great stream, man. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, thanks, man. Thanks. Good evening, guys. Good evening. On my side, actually, it's around 5 o'clock. Actually, it's PM. I think maybe on the other side, it's still early in the morning. So yeah, I'll be happy if you tell me which pairs to check. But currently, I will be just starting with Nasdaq because this is something that I actually do every day. So you will let me know which pairs do you want me to check. Then I will be checking those pairs. I can see someone already said GBP, CHF, Euro, USD. Okay, that's great. I will be trying to check those pairs. So let me see. Because I know there's people who also follow me actually from my channel. So I'll just start with Nasdaq and see what's really happening. So you can easily see that yes, the market actually, this is 4 hours time frame, the market was pushing to the upside, which we call this an uptrend. The market was uptrending very nice. You can see the touches where the market actually did touch several times. So this made sense that we were on a very nice uptrend because you can see the higher highs, the higher lows, the higher highs, the higher lows. But just because the dollar is getting stronger, guys, we start to see that actually the market actually here, it's breaking out of that support. The support was actually bit stronger, but the market actually broke out. And actually, it's funny because on Friday, the market did push the upside. Then later, the market started to push the lower side, you see. So you can see that earlier in the group actually already sent the signal for a sell, actually a sell stop. So I'm expecting the market to do what? To push lower. But let me just remove that because I also see some other things. If we look nice, maybe the market just wants to adjust the trend. There is a possibility that the market might be just adjusting the trend because around this area, if you can see that, you can see that that might be something. We have a zone here, and if we push to our left side, we also have another zone there, which means there is actually a possibility that the market can do what? Can respect this area. So now let me draw with a proper line. Do you see that? So there is a chance that maybe the market wants to do what? Maybe the market wants to just consolidate or adjust the trend before doing what? Before pushing to the upside. That is also actually true. But besides that, the trend can still continue. Our downtrend can also continue because since few weeks we saw that the market was doing what? Was respecting this area. So there is a reason why the market is breaking out there. So it means yes, the trend can still continue or with that downtrend. There is that possibility. You see, there is that possibility. So I see someone. Let me check other comments. Here. So I see that someone say, Kenzo, check. Let me see. I don't know if maybe these are old or they are new. Okay. GBP USD. Okay, it's like I'm looking at different things, yeah. Okay, I see Euro CAD, I see Euro CHF, I also see NAS 100. Oh, I already done with NAS 100. So let me see what I can check. So just because I see so many things here, I don't know which one is which. So I'll just focus on this one. I see gold, US 30, Euro CHF. So let me check US 30 and check what's really happening on US 30, because we are very close to actually Nasdaq and US 30. They are like seriously close to each other, as they actually index from the US, and mostly they will react quite similar. So what do we see here? We see that the market actually was actually on a wedge. Wedge is like this structure where the market is just playing around that zone, right? So what's really happening there is it's better for us to go closer, because we see that around this area there is another structure where the market is actually respecting. The market is respecting this area, guys. The market is respecting this area. I understand that down there we also have a support, but here, if you check nicely here, you will see that the market is just playing around that zone. Even on top here, you can see that the market is playing around those levels. So our job is to draw a proper support here and a proper resistant on top. So we see that actually the market is just consolidating or ranging. And it's not easy most of the time for us just to play around a ranging market, because the market can just go up and down. So we don't actually know where the market is headed, because there is not actually a proper trend to follow. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's just moving around the same level. So I rather stay out of this, because I don't think maybe it will be good for us to just play around it. See, so let's check the other one. Someone say check. Okay, gold. Let's go straight to gold. Yeah, here we have gold. It seems like gold is going back aggressively. What do we see here is the market is actually doing what? The market is actually, let me show you before, because I have to show people what's really happening, what happened before. So before, you can see that the market was actually on a aggressive bullish momentum. You can see that the market was actually pushing to the upside until we saw a breakout, which means the market is no longer respecting that uptrend. Now, since we saw a breakout here, it means that we should expect the market to push lower, even though we can see some rejections, whatever. But at the end of the day, the market is actually pushing lower. We see that the market broke out here. We saw several ranging moves there to show that the market was actually not actually going to push the upside. Again, we saw another ranging move around this area. That was confirming with us that actually the market will continue with that downtrend. And we did continue with that. Since the market broke the support, the market kept doing that. Now, where we are, let me just zoom there. We have to understand this. Mostly, we understand that this is a downtrend. But what the market may creates, the market moves like this actually. Mostly, the market will consolidate. Remember, this is a downtrend. Push lower aggressively most of the time. Start to consolidate, push lower, consolidate, push lower. But we don't know how long will this thing consolidate, right? So our job is to do what? To identify this consolidation, so that we know where to sell, because this is a downtrend. So we know the resistance where we're supposed to sell. When it breaks, we can continue selling. But now it seems like the market is pushing up. So we have another area here. So what can we do? This is a bit confusing sometimes, but it's something that the market creates mostly. So we can just we can just make sure that our resistance is a bit thicker, so that we can cover this type of moves. You can see that, yes, the market was consolidating, but the levels there, they were not just the same. You see, even here we had the same thing. We also have another one here. So we should focus on the outer one, because it's the same zone. This is just the same zone. I hope you understand that. So I see someone said gold, please. Okay, we did gold. USD ZAR, Euro GBP. Okay, we will check that. So here it seems like the market is pushing to the upside. The dollar is pushing up. It's been pushing lower, but I still believe that the market will still push lower. So if maybe you were looking for sell, I'm still also looking for a sell. I expect the market to do what? To keep pushing lower and lower. That's what I see. You see. So let's see what we can get on the other pairs. On the other pairs, let's see. Euro what? Or let me just do this. Okay, we have Euro GBP. GBP USD. It seems like it's pushing to the upside. I also had some entry on this thing, so it means it's punching me, obviously, because it's pushing up as the market just broke out. So what's really happening here is the market was actually everything against the dollar. Actually, they were just pushing up, but now it seems like the dollar is starting to gain that momentum. So what's really happening is, yes, the market was actually on a bullish momentum. We also see that the market actually had a very, very nice actually uptrend. Before that, we saw that the market actually broke out. The market is broke out here. The market started to go down, several retests, which are fine actually, but now it seems like the market will actually continue with this trend. But now we had a support area here where I thought maybe the market was going to continue with that downtrend, by the way, but it seems like the market wants to push the upside. Obviously it means we might lose this trade actually. Maybe we might lose this trade, but if we don't lose that, it's also fine. We will see what will happen actually. Yeah, it seems like we're going to lose this trade because now the market is pushing to the upside, but the overall move on my side, I still believe that the market will actually keep pushing lower. We have the resistant rate, the stop loss ready. If maybe we lose that, it's also fine. Maybe the market will be changing the trend, or maybe the market wants to test this trend here before pushing lower again. But just make sure that you apply your risk management. Sometimes you can be wrong. Sometimes you can be wrong. So let me see GBP/JPY. Let me see something. This thing is going against us, guys. It's going against us. So let me check GBP/JPY. Okay. So on GBP/JPY, we also have something here. We also have a structure. So on JPY, guys, we have this funny structure. I can't say it's a downtrend or uptrend. Why? Because since let me check, since what? Since last year, guys, the market was just moving like this. You can see we have a very strong consolidation there. The market was just moving sideways. Even around this area, the market is just moving sideways. So I can't say the market is downtrending or the market is uptrending. So the market is just moving like that. So now we have this structure, which is quite simple, by the way. I think we should remove this. What I see is, I see that the market is actually creating a very simple, straightforward ranging move. If you don't know how to identify this, you should learn actually support and resistance. So what I see is the market is actually respecting this zone here. The market is actually respecting this zone. So which means obviously there is enough chance for the market to do what? To bounce from this area and keep selling again. On the bottom side, we also have quite similar structure, but it's not as consistent as the one that we see on top there. So because we see some areas here, and the other ones they're starting to go to the upside. So I'm expecting the market to do what? To keep pushing lower. Yes, the market now just opened. US market just opened 30 minutes ago. So I still think maybe that the market will still actually push lower, or maybe next week we expecting the market to do what? To keep pushing lower. I hope you understand that. So if you like me, you follow the support and resistance and the trends, I think your sell pending order should be ready there. Maybe by next week the market will be playing around that level. Maybe by next week the market will be playing around that level. I see another one there. They say what? Let me see. Let me check, guys. I'm checking which pair do you want me to check. I see someone say check USDJPY. Sorry, USD ZAR. I will just check that. I don't think I that. I will have that. So let's see. GBP CHF. Because mostly I'm on. Let me check your questions, guys. Okay, GBP CHF. Let me check that because I don't actually trade that. Mostly I focus on major pairs. CHF. Okay, let me check that. And USD ZAR. So let's see. GBP CHF. So firstly, because this is new to me, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use like seriously a daily, actually bigger time frame, which is going to be a daily time frame on my side because I'm a day trader. So that is actually going to help me to understand where the market is actually going. So, but we don't actually have to go like way back there, but at least whatever that we see here, we can now understand where the market is going. I see that the market started around this area and now we are going down there. So to me, that is going down. That is actually doing what? The market is going down. Yes, the market might not be creating these perfect moves, but that to me it's a downtrend. The market is actually creating some very nice downtrend. So we have to learn how to draw the trend lines perfectly. Sorry, so let's see. Because there's someone who actually wants this. So let me do that for you. Let me do that for you. If you have Edge Finder, guys, if you have Edge Finder, most of you're not going to even go through this because that is going to just do so much stuff for you. The analysis is going to be done for you. You're going to understand why the market is going down, why the market is pushing up. So I think from this area now you start to understand that actually the market is pushing down. We are actually on a downtrend. So just because this is a daily time frame, it's better for us to do what? To go even closer. We understand that the market is pushing down. It's fine. I think I have to start from this area. These candlesticks, they are very, like, there are many. So I think I can start from this area, trying to push lower so that everyone can see everything clear because we are still on that daily time frame. So now we see that, let's see. Double lines just to make sure that we don't actually have some fake moves. Yeah, so now we see that the market is doing what? The market was respecting this area very nice, and several times it touched that resistance. Again, we also have another counter trend line. This counter trend line actually it's something that the market is respecting, but it's not that stronger as we have a stronger resistance outside. The market can still break that and respect this one here and push lower. So you have to understand that. So what I see is we also have another one here. I think we're gonna use this one for now. So let's use 4 hours time frame. Edge Finder. Edge Finder is just it's an like application where it's going to help you actually to know if maybe the market might be pushing up, or actually the strength of the pair. If maybe we trade in Nasdaq or USDT, is going to show you if maybe there is high probability for a buy or for a sell, and you will also get the reasons behind why maybe why the market is why Edge Finder is thinking like maybe the market is going to go down or up. So you're going to get everything, maybe because of fundamentals or anything. You will just get that. So I will also open mine here. You will see that, but let me just do the analysis first. So on GBP CHF, we can easily see that, oh, the market is actually doing what? The market is actually downtrending, but the market already moved away from my resistance. Now it's back here. So for me to sell, I'll be expecting the market to push back again before I see another what? Another sell again. But on the bottom side here, I see something like a support area. That is also a counter trend. So the market can do what? The market can respect this area, obviously, and still push up. So it means we might wait. We have to actually wait for the market to touch this area before we can say the market will push lower. For now, I think maybe it's time for us to do what? To wait, or we can say if maybe the market breaks this support here, it's where we can just jump on that sell. Do you see that? I hope maybe you see that. So we can have something like this maybe down there and say if maybe the market will be breaking that support, or will be actually thinking about selling. Why? Because the market is still on downtrend. So it means the market is pushing lower most of the time. The market is pushing lower most of the time. I hope you see that. So let me see, which pair do you want me to check? Which pair do you want me to check? Okay, let me see something else. While you still maybe checking which pair for me to check, I'll be also checking something for you. Let me see, maybe USDJPY. So the USD ZAR. Someone said I must check USD ZAR actually. So let me check that for you. Let me check that for you. So in 10 minutes, guys, I will be going off. So, okay, EuroCAD and US 500 is fine. So, okay, on USD, on USD ZAR, we can easily see that the market is doing what? The market is actually going to the upside. So let me quickly close some other trades here. I can see that the market is seriously going against me on actually Euro, on GBP, USD actually. So the market is going against me. I have to close some. Let me close some. I'm sorry, guys. I have to close this very quick. The market is mooring me. It's punching me in the face. So I've been holding these trades for quite some time. Okay, yeah, I'm done now. So let's see. We are on USD ZAR. What's really happening? It seems like, oh, USD, yeah, it's actually a bit stronger. This is 4 hours time frame. Before I even go on a daily time frame, we can easily see that the market is doing what? The market is pushing to the upside. So let me get the right structure here for me to draw this nicely. I think the market was respecting this. Yes, the market was respecting that. And again, the market just broke out. I think this was just the market was trying to adjust the trend. We have a broke out. The market started to consolidate a little bit. Now the market is doing what? Is going back again. So it means the market was just adjusting the trend. This breakout was not actually, we don't have to consider that. So let's try to zoom out and try to draw this correctly. So we can start around this area and draw it again. Yeah, we can have something like this. Yeah, we can have something like this because the market is still pushing to the upside. So that will help us to know that, oh, yes, we see the market working out, broke out. That's because here we had a nice trend, broke out, came back and push up again. So it means the market was just adjusting. So for now, I think maybe the market, it's already on a bullish momentum. So for our job is to do what? Is to just try to get where can we buy actually, because we are still on a bullish momentum. Maybe I see something like this. I don't know if that will stick. Yeah, I think I see something like that. But I think maybe it's much better for someone who trade this pair to wait for the market to reject before pushing up. Or maybe the market will even touch our support before pushing to the upside. I see someone said, Kenzo, check USDJPY and AUD, AUD USD. So let me check. I see someone say a very good analysis. So thank you very much. So we also have what is USDJPY. Let's check USDJPY. Okay. Yeah, USDJPY and Euro USD, then AUD USD. Then I think we will be done for today, actually. Then we will be seeing each other next week. So, what's really happening on USDJPY? I like the structure because I think it's the most cleanest, actually, that you can get on currency pairs, right? So, the market was actually doing what? The market was actually going down. You can see the market was actually downtrending. The market was actually downtrending. Guess what? After that, we saw that since the market was downtrending very nice, the market was actually tired with that downtrend because it's been going down for quite some time. So now we see a breakout. The market is doing what? The market is breaking out. So, which means the market wants to change the trend. Now the market broke out. If maybe you missed that, it was fine because the market came back and retest again. This area is where actually we're supposed to get the trades if you trade in JPY, sorry. So again, the market, as I always repeat, mostly when the market breaks, the market will mostly consolidate. You see, now we saw that after, but what we know is since the market broke out of this downtrend, it means the market was looking for what? For a bullish momentum. And it seems like the market is happening, it's following that. Now the market wants to do what? The market wants to create an uptrend. But where we are now, we can't just say we're going to enter on we're going to jump on the market. What we can do is we can just wait maybe for the market to create a structure or to use the one that we have currently and say maybe the market will come back around this area and maybe push up again. Then we can use that resistance as a higher high. Maybe the market will respect that and create something like this. But the best thing is to do what? Is to wait for the market to show you the road, because always, most of the time, the market will show you the structure. Then we just have to draw on top of that structure. Maybe the market will do something like this, and we will just continue with that bullish momentum as we expect to do what? To buy, because now the market is showing us that actually this is a bullish momentum. Do you see that? I hope you see that. I hope you see that. So let's go straight to Euro USD. I hope this maybe will be the last one. This will be the last one. Euro USD. Where is Euro USD? Let's see. Okay. Euro USD. We are on Euro USD. What's really happening on Euro USD? I think it's quite straightforward. The market, it's still actually on that bullish momentum. We have a very nice bullish momentum. You can see from back here, the market created some structure. Mostly the market will show you something. Even if sometimes you're not going to follow that 100%, but the market at least showed us something. This thing that the market showed us is just a nice uptrend. This is an uptrend. So during that time of uptrend, the market started to go aggressive. You can see this was like seriously aggressive, but also the market created or gave us another support area where we're supposed to do what? We're supposed to know, oh, the market is respecting this, it's continuing with that trend. But now we see a breakout. Before I zoom there, you see this breakout. It doesn't mean that the market is changing the trend. We're going to say that when the market breaks this. Once the market breaks this, we'll say, oh, maybe the market now wants to change the trend and now give us maybe a downtrend. But for now, the market might be just adjusting the trend before pushing up, because the market has been pushing up aggressively. So now when we push closer there, you can see that actually, sorry, let me remove that. We can see that we actually have what? A breakout. But after that breakout, the market gave us some several touch where happened around the same zone. That's why we ended up drawing what? A support area. Let me just zoom that. Let me just zoom this. So we see that we have a very nice support area. You see, this is a very nice support area. But the market broke out of this support. That's why we're supposed to do what? To jump on that. Unfortunately, it seems like the market is not respecting this breakout. It's pushing up again. But maybe the market wants to just... sometimes the market can do that. It knows that everyone is looking for a sell. touch your stop loss before going lower again. You see, something like that. So, but I'm still expecting a very, very nice sell. So, yeah, we have like what I think maybe it's only 1 minute or something. I just wanted to show you what I see actually on my edge finder. If we don't get that, it's also fine. I think already they did show you. I think Nick also showed you whatever that was happening actually on edge finder. So yeah, if we don't get that, it's fine. Let me see. So yeah, again, guys, thank you very much. I think maybe it's gonna take time for me to get that link. I think that is gonna be taking your time. So I think it's fine, guys. So we will meet actually next week on Friday. Oh, I got that, but it's fine. Let me just open that. I just want to show you actually on Euro USD and also maybe on Nasdaq. Or while our watch edge finder actually is expecting from that, but I think they already talked to you about that. But let me just check that. Let me check that so that I don't just talk about something at the end of the day. I don't really show you that. Let's see, it's still loading. Maybe my network is a bit slow, but it's still loading. It's fine. Come on. I think maybe this won't be. Unfortunately, guys, okay. It's fine. It's here. I just wanted you to see something. It's still loading. It's fine. I think it's taking longer than expected. So I just wanted to show some people what's really happening, especially on the pairs that we were doing. I did show you Euro USD. Do you see that Euro USD actually? We see a very strong sell. Do you see that? This is a strong sell. So let's go on our analysis. On our analysis, what did I say? I said the market just broke out of our support area, even though we know that we are actually still on that bullish momentum. But since the market broke out of this counter trend line, we're expecting the market to sell maybe up to this point before the market pushes up. Do you see that? So again, let me show you something. This is Euro USD. I just want you to see that you actually need edge finder. Just see this. So this is going to help you just to understand, oh, when I do the analysis, I got that, okay, I see a sell. When you go on edge finder, you see that, okay, score is like -8, which is like strong sell. So it's like everyone is actually buying the dollar. You see, the dollar is very, very strong. That's why we see the market actually going down. So there are some other things why the market is pushing lower. You can see GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, interest rates, all the fundamentals that influences the market to do to act like that. You see, so I hope maybe this can help for those who actually want edge finder. I think it's a very, very useful tool actually that you can get out there in the market. I don't think maybe you can get it somewhere, but I think this is the best tool that you can use. So yeah, thanks guys. We will meet actually next week. Thanks Nick, thanks team. We will meet actually next week, Friday again as usual. So thank you very much. This is Kenzo XtraHot Forex. Bye.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember to check the description below if you're looking for a new broker or looking for a trading community to join. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.